Hello, I am Jayla McCoy, your Kelowna Region State Vice President. Thank you for joining us for today's fly session. We appreciate the many individuals and organizations who support Virginia FBLA by sponsoring our activities and our programs, including Aaron Strywall in Ruckersville and Austin Peay State University. Today's session, you can use the chat feature to comment and ask questions. At the end of the presentation, our speaker will answer some of the questions. Our speaker's FBLA PBL involvement runs deep. He is a former state president and national officer, and currently serves as an advisor at Thomas A. Edison High School. He has seen firsthand the impact that an organization can provide and thoroughly enjoys helping improve the FBLA PBL experience. In his spare time, he enjoys playing rugby, traveling, and learning languages. Please welcome Nicholas Western.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Jayla. So if you have not, just another reminder, if you've not connected yet, please go to the link in the chat. I've just posted it again. Copy and paste it because you're going to need it for today. I will be answering, I'll be answering some of your Zoom questions after the session. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. So you should see something that looks like the presentation. So what I want you to do is you have your Nearpod screen open. Use that. This is just for the recording. So I want you to imagine this. You're the new person at school. You walk into the building on your first day and you're taken aback by the stress of it all. The hustle and bustle, the new schedule, the new attitudes, and there's some new dance that everyone seems to know. Everyone except you. You don't know anyone. You feel like an anonymous face in a sea of thousands. You're lucky if someone says hi. You stand there with a blank expression on your face, clueless without an idea of what to do. So, how do you even begin to figure out where your first class is? You network. How do you find out where you can get your schedule changed? You network. Where or what do you do to start making friends or even just start meeting people? You network. The idea of networking is simple. Oftentimes in life, you're going to come across problems or situations that you can't solve by yourself. The key to solving these problems is finding those who do have the answers, and that's called networking. Here's the thing. Chances are you've been in a situation like this, and chances are you're going to be in situations like this throughout your life. Networking is important for everyone, regardless of your age, your life experience, or your background. So today we're here to talk about the importance of networking, number one, and number two, how we can go and do it. A lot of people have this idea that networking is for adults who are in stuffy suits, who go to conferences and that it's not for everyone. But the fact of the matter is networking is for everyone, and it's easier than you might think. So just some core understandings for today. Today, I want you to get out of this session that we don't necessarily have all the answers. Networking is essential to finding the answers for each and every one of us. How networking looks changes over our careers, and networking is both planned and unplanned. Your networking strategies are going to change based on your goals, and your diversity in your network is super important, and the ability to connect with someone on a personal level is going to enhance the quality of that connection. We'll also talk about a little bit about LinkedIn today. So let's think about it. Why do you even need a network? Well, the answer is simple. You don't have all the answers. The key is to surround yourself with the people that do have all the answers, or that do have answers, or help you become the person that does have the answers. you're going to come across issues in life, but you're going to have to rely on other people to help you solve those. Whether it comes to your job, your personal life, resources you might need, your professional knowledge or more, you are going to have to rely on other people to find the answers, and networking is how we do that. So what do you need to network for? Other people can help you solve problems and find the opportunities you need, and also the opportunities that you didn't know you needed. Networks are really crucial for helping you get outside your comfort zone. They help you have experiences that expand your worldview, help you find a job and other advancement opportunities. They help you find people that you enjoy working with. One of the most important things about finding a place to work is enjoying the people that you're with. And they'll help you find employees if you're a manager or you're looking for talent. They'll help you stay up to date on trends. Let's think about the past 20 years with technology. 20 years ago, we would, if the situation that we're in happened 20 years ago, it would look completely different because the technology has changed so much. And ultimately, networks help you figure out your best life path. So I want you to first think, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What goals do you have for the next 5 years? If we were to get back together in April 2025, what would you like to have accomplished by then? So go ahead and type in your answer in the chat. Or in the Nearpod presentation, sorry. So go ahead and type in where you see yourself in 5 years, what goals you have for the next 5 years. So go ahead and type in your response in the Nearpod presentation. If you're having issues, just let me know in the chat. I'm following along with the chat. So graduating from college, that's a great one. That's a great one. Graduating high school in 2021, starting at a 4-year university. Getting ready to enter the workforce in 5 years. Yeah, it is definitely not the easiest time making the transition from high school to college and college to the workforce. Okay, so majoring in theater. Graduating from college, I'm seeing a lot of really great academic and professional goals. Working at a technology company. Getting an internship. Yep, absolutely. Getting a swimming scholarship. Working in international relations or management. I'm seeing a lot of really great stuff here. So the way we network is going to be influenced by the goals that we have. It's going to be influenced by the goals that we have. So your goals are going to impact how you should network. When you go through and figure out, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in your career? Or where do you want to be in your personal life? You should ask yourself some questions. Are you interested in specific opportunities? Do you want a specific job? Do you want to do a specific thing? Or are you just more open to opportunities in general? Are you looking to start or switch a career soon, which a lot of us are doing? Or are you looking to possibly, start or switch a career in the future, way into the future? What professional learning experiences do you need to achieve your goals? And for some people, that's college, university. For other people, that's smaller professional development opportunities. Are you willing to move, or do you want to stay put? If you're working in technology, for example, do you want a job in Virginia, or do you want a job in 10,000 miles away? What does your network look like now? What sorts of people are in your network? And there are other things to think about. If you're thinking something else that you should think of when your goals are impacting your network, go ahead and type it in the chat. Okay, so I just sent you an article about 10 types of people that you need to have in your professional network. So let's talk about it. So it's important to have recruiters in your network. You want someone who can find you the job, but it's also important to keep other people in your network. So a market expert. A good recruiter is going to be an expert in your job market. They want to know, or they're going to know the specifics about an industry. They're going to know job availability, where the jobs are. They're going to know a lot specifically about a lot of the numbers about the network. It's important to have HR folks in your network. They're going to know specifics about what it is like to work in a specific industry. So, for example, they're going to know about the benefits that you can offer or you can get, the how to negotiate your salary. It's important to have a guardian angel or a mentor in your network. The person who wrote this article in Forbes likes to use the term guardian angel as kind of a catch-all for mentors and sponsors. You need someone who's there looking out for you. You need someone with the answers on how to navigate your corporate culture, how to navigate your office culture. You need someone who can step up for you in a meeting and come to your defense. A board of directors person is important, or an important type of person to include in your network. They help you improve your executive presence. They help you develop as a professional, not just your knowledge, but for example, your speaking skills, your writing skills. It's important to have a shepherd type person. So someone who can guide you within the company specifically. Someone who is also kind of looking out for you. It's important to have a change agent. Some people are going to be better at change than others. And someone who embraces change can help you figure out the changes in your industry. A cheerleader is important. It's always important to, when you get down on yourself, to be able to go back and have someone tell you to keep on keeping on. It's important to have a truth teller. I like to call this person the devil's advocate. The truth teller is going to be a person who, when you're doing something wrong or when you could do something better, they're going to turn around and tell you that. They're not going to lie to you. If you didn't do your best in a presentation, they're going to turn around and be the person to tell you that. And then there's the connector. There's someone who you can go to if you need a connection to a job or an opportunity that you have. So I want you to think of people specifically, and I want you to think of your network right now. Who should you add to your network and why? So I'll give you about a minute to do that. So someone who supports you, yeah. So professors, absolutely. Someone you can look up to, absolutely. Your FBLA advisor. Someone with more knowledge and experience than you have, absolutely. At the same time, you might want to consider networking with people with less knowledge and experience than you have, because because they're going to have new, fresh ideas. Someone to keep you grounded, someone who could serve as a role model, someone who tells you the truth no matter what. Friends from college, absolutely. Alums from PBL, absolutely. Oop. Awesome, these are looking great. Someone who can inspire you and keep you motivated. A lot of times, the people who inspire don't necessarily have the content knowledge, but they're just really good at inspiring you and cheering you on. People with different skill sets, absolutely. If someone is really good at computers and you're not really good at computers, keeping them in your network is going to be very helpful. Wonderful. Okay, so different ways to network. The wonders of being in the 21st century mean that networking now is so much easier than it used to be. So for example, online, you can use LinkedIn, which we'll talk about it in a little bit. Emailing potential contacts is a great way to do that. And then within different industries, there are going to be different networks and different professional associations that you can take advantage of. Professional associations are oftentimes going to do a lot of online stuff, but also a lot of in-person stuff as well. In person, you can go to different conferences for different associations or different areas of interest that you have. You can take courses and classes. If you're looking at going to college, your professors in your classes are going to not only know a lot about the subject, but they're also going to be connected to the people who are, the big people in those fields. Also, I don't want you to forget the power of the second and third level connection. You might not know someone who wants to get you an opportunity or wants to get you a job, but you might know someone who knows someone. And if you stretch it out to, you've got your second connections, your third connections, your fourth connections, you have a lot of people in your extended network. So a second connection being like, you know someone who knows someone. A third level connection being, you know someone who knows someone who knows someone. Also realize that cold calling and emailing is okay. It is okay to reach out to someone like, hey, I'm a student, I'm looking for opportunities in this field. Can you help me? The power of an email, or better yet, a handwritten note, can take you far. And the important thing is to build relationships. So once you know someone, you want to keep in contact with them. You want to keep them up to date on your progress. So a business teacher that I met a few years ago at a conference, networking, had this great idea for introductions. When you are meeting someone, whether online or in person, introducing yourself is easy. She calls it a GNAP. So you start with a greeting, you move on, you tell them your name, you tell them your affiliation, like how are you related to where we're at right now, and your purpose for being there. So why are you there, or wherever you're talking, or why are you getting in contact with them? I also like to ask a question if it makes sense as well. So, for example, has anyone ever seen the movie Princess Bride? Has anyone ever seen the movie The Princess Bride? Go ahead and type in the chat. So a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people have seen it. I've seen a lot of people have seen it. Awesome. So a GNAP is easy. And I'm going to show you an example. Go ahead and click. You should see a video on your screen. And go ahead and click play. So you start out, so what he did right there, what Inigo Montoya did right there was a GNAP. A greeting. Hello. He gave his name. My name is Inigo Montoya. His affiliation, you killed my father. Purpose, prepare to die. So that is a perfect example of an introduction. You know who you're talking to, and you know why that they're there. And it's short, simple, and to the point as well. Another example that you might use. So for example, hello, I'm Sandra Jenkins. I'm applying for an accountant position with your company, and I'm here for a 10 a.m. interview. You get the entire purpose of who she is and why she's there from those 4 sentences. You have your greeting, you have your name, you have your affiliation, and you have your purpose. So in that situation, that's the conversation. In the second situation, I like to ask a question. So for example, if you are working with someone else, or you're at a dinner with someone else, you are in an elevator even, starting with a GNAP plus a question. So hello, I'm Sam Smith. I'm a staff accountant at Acme Corporation. This is my first time coming to the ABC Association conference. Where are you from? So you can start a conversation really easily from that. So when I'm asking questions, when I'm introducing myself to people, I like to ask where they're from, namely because everyone has to be from somewhere. You are not going to meet someone who stonewalls you when you ask them where they're from. Everyone is from somewhere, and chances are they feel really passionate about where they're from. For example, I also try to connect with where they're from once we move on from that. So if someone says, like for example, I used to live in South Carolina. When someone says South Carolina, I like to connect with them that way on a more personal level. So from that, you want to find something interesting about the other person that they can get excited about, or find something else that you can connect on. If you both like video games, that's something you can connect on. So I want you to think of a hypothetical situation, or even a situation that you've been in. What is your GNAP plus your question? So your greeting, name, affiliation, purpose, and your question. So I'll give you about a minute. Okay. Sarah, that's a great one. Yeah, even asking how are you is a great question is just a great question to ask. You do want to stay away from controversial topics. So avoid politics, for example. Avoid some topic that might be controversial, so that you can have a pleasant conversation. Okay, I'll give you about 30 more seconds. I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Yeah, Jada, that's great. Hi, my name is Jada Cumberland. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I would even say what high school you go to. I entered this competition to learn more about cybersecurity. That's your affiliation. What do you want to do? That's a good one. That's a good one. Ashley, Charlie, Christy, Leah. Awesome. These are looking great. These are looking great. Evan, you're a freshman at high school in a high school in Virginia Beach. You entered this to learn more about leadership. How are you doing? That's a good one. That's a good one. Saying where you're from is really helpful in establishing that connection. Eric, student at Robinson Secondary School, and he'd like to apply for a job. What positions do you have available? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so there are lots of different types of questions that that you can ask when you're networking. So LinkedIn is a really great social networking tool for professionals. If you think about it, it's like Facebook or Twitter, but for professionals. It's great for searching for jobs. A couple years ago, it was something like 2/3 of all the open jobs in the country were on LinkedIn. So it's great for connecting with people that you already know, both personally and professionally. It's great for showing your personal achievements, your education, and your experience, and staying aware of professional learning opportunities in your field. A lot of times, companies and organizations that offer professional learning opportunities, so conferences, workshops, online courses, a lot of those organizations are going to advertise them on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn just generally helps you stay relevant in your field. So we live in a world where relevance or staying relevant is so incredibly important. So making sure you're up to date on the technology you use in your field, as well as the best practices in your field are going to be so crucial for networking and for leveling up your career. So back to questions. When you reach out to someone on LinkedIn or in person or through email, you're going to want to start with some questions. I like to separate it into small talk and big talk questions, and we'll start with a small talk question. So something like, where are you from? That's my favorite one to use. Or have you been to X, Y, and Z? What made you decide to X, Y, and Z? Have you always worked at this place? Have you always lived in this place? Have you always been interested in something? The key part here is you want to focus on the other person. People like talking about themselves. So getting them to open up is going to help get that conversation started. It's also okay that you ask questions. You ask questions that you already know the answer to. If you connect on food, like you both love Korean barbecue, and you ask about a place you've asked them about, oh, have you been to this place? Is it good? It's okay to continue that conversation you know, some questions that you might already know the answer to, because you might gain some insight from that person if they had maybe a different experience or just a different or possibly a opposite experience from you. From your small talk questions, you'll move on to your big talk questions, and it's hard to nail these down because it's going to depend on the situation that you're in. So if you are at a conference, your big talk questions are going to be so much different than if you're over email, excuse me. I want you to use your commonalities or your differences. So with your small talk questions, you're going to find things that you have in common with other people. You're also going to find things that are different from other people. You're talking to someone, maybe you're from a city and they're from a rural area. That's a difference that you can talk about. There are lots of different ways to move into those big talk questions. And then at the end of your conversation, you are going to want to close your conversation with a complimentary close, something like, "It has been so nice talking to you today." And then have a request to stay in contact with a business card or a LinkedIn profile, a phone number, an email address. This is one great use of business cards, is to be able to say to them, "Hey, here is my contact information. I'd love to keep in touch." So you'd close your conversation with something like, "It has been so nice speaking with you today. I really would like to continue our conversation. Here's my business card. Here's my phone number. Here's my LinkedIn profile. I'd love to keep in touch." Okay, so back to LinkedIn, because I think what happened was I mistakenly rearranged my slides. You can go ahead and play this video using the play button. This will show you just a little bit more about LinkedIn.
Chances are good you want to get a job. You want to go from student to rising star, and you want to avoid eating the same meal over and over and over again. Good news, you're in the right place. That's right, LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives. It's not just for old people with heavy briefcases. It's for you, and it's the perfect place for you to start your professional story. Say you want to get a job in New York City. Never been there before, but that's okay.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of seconds to finish that video. Okay, so that's so LinkedIn is a really great tool. It is kind of like your virtual resume that is presentable to, you know, the millions of people that are on LinkedIn. How I like to do it is when I'm updating my resume, I just pull whatever I have on LinkedIn. So keeping your LinkedIn updated, because it is always out there and people can always see it. I'll copy and paste what I have on my LinkedIn into my resume, so that everything, number one, everything is on brand with my personal brand, but also it's don't reinvent the wheel. Don't do something twice that you don't have to do twice. Okay, so I just sent you the LinkedIn website. And if you're already logged into a LinkedIn account and you already have a LinkedIn account, it would show up with your LinkedIn feed. It's very similar to, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, because you'll be able to see updates from your connections. You'll be able to see different groups, see different hashtags. And if you don't have a LinkedIn account, it will the homepage will just prompt you to start an account. We do have a Virginia FBLA alumni group that you are more than welcome to join to stay connected with fellow FBLA alums. Okay, so I want you to now think, we've talked about a lot today. What are some steps that you can take today to go out and build your network? So go ahead and type it in the Nearpod presentation. What are some steps that you can take today to build your network? Yeah, Jorge, create a LinkedIn account. Yeah, Alexander, maintaining relationships with people you've met in the past, even if you haven't talked to someone in 4 or 5 years, reestablishing that relationship, if they are a good connection to have, will help you potentially find a job, move up in your career, gain insight to what you're doing. Update your resume. Jayla, that's a good one. Since everything changes so quickly, especially in high school, it's kind of hard to do, but it's important to take a couple of minutes, every couple of months to update your resume. Keep in contact with your former teachers. Absolutely. Start reaching out to people in the virtual experience. Absolutely. Finish making your LinkedIn account. Charlie, that's a good one. Absolutely. Tate, surround yourself with people that build you up. Be more active in professional associations. So for example, there are every job that is out there, there is going to be a professional association like an FBLA or another CTSO, but for adults, that you can join and get involved with. There are different conferences you can go to. There are different online opportunities, in-person opportunities, different people that you can meet to build your network, to keep being relevant, to learn more about the job that you're in. Reaching out to small businesses, absolutely. Small businesses are like 80% of the economy. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. I hope this workshop, you've been able to get something specific out of this workshop that you can go into your professional and personal life and apply. I do ask that you fill out this survey that is now on your screen. If I would love to answer any questions that you have, and we can go ahead and do that.
Thank you, Mr. Western, for showing us how to develop our personal network. Now, I've seen a question that was asked in the group chat, and someone asked, are LinkedIn advertisements or opportunities always verified from businesses? Or
sorry, I accidentally muted myself. Technology is lovely. So that is a really good question. I think Rithika asked that question. The challenge social media is going to be the same on any platform. You're going to have people on any platform who are not going to tell the truth. They're going to lie. They're going to try and steal your information. The key is to be able to identify what is verified, what is valid information, and what is not. It's the same thing when you get something like an email with, a phishing email with fake information. It's important to know the difference between what is true and what is not true.
Okay. Does anyone have any more questions? You could type in the group chat really fast.
So the national office uses Tallo for the BAA platform, as well as the LEAD platform for the middle school. It is a great program, and it's a great kind of way to move yourself into LinkedIn. It is very similar. Yeah, exactly. It's like LinkedIn for students. If you are if you're a senior, for example, and you're looking to go into the workforce right after high school, having a LinkedIn profile and doing the in-person activities, the in-person work, the footwork that you need to do to develop your network is going to be important, and LinkedIn is a big part of that.
Thank you for all of your questions. A recording of the session will be available on the Virginia FBLA YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today, and don't miss the first session in our FLY Executive Leadership Series on Monday at 3 p.m. I hope you continue creating a world of opportunities.